my first book of the year was Standoff by Sandra Brown. And it started off great. And that's what the 3 stars are for. But the ending, I was so disappointed because it starts off with this, workaholic journalist that is supposed to go on vacation, but obviously she hears of this great story over the radio and then somehow finds herself in a hostage situation with the people that she's supposed to be going and getting the story because of, right? And look, in the beginning, it's great. It's amazing. It almost reads like you're binge watching a series, It almost reads like an episode of SWAT or an episode of NCIS or an episode of FBI, or like an episode of The Blacklist. I know. So it reads amazing in the beginning because you have a hostage situation, there's guns, there's panicky kids, there's this pregnant girl whose water just broke in a convenience store with a bunch of hostages, and it's a lot, right? And there's this cashier who has been in robbery situations like 3 times, but she won't quit her job because she loves her job. So it's amazing. You have all these emotions. You have fear, you have grief from this doctor who disappeared from his life because of a whole debacle with his late wife, right? So you have all these things merged into one in the first few chapters of the book. And the nice thing is, look, it's a short read, right? So I finished this in a day, only because I have things to do. But you could easily finish this in an hour or 2, right? If you a fast reader. So it's really great. Sandra Brown has you on chokehold in the first few chapters. Every chapter ends with a cliffhanger, and it's oh, I just want to read more. I just want to read more. I just want to read more. Until you get to a point where the hostage situation ends. And it's why would you end this amazingly written story like that? Because some of the main characters disappear completely from the story. It's almost like they fade away. And that bothers me so much because I want to know what's happening with Ronnie and Sabra. I want to know what's happening with the baby. I want to know, what happened with the dads. And it's almost like they almost disappear immediately from the story. And now we're suddenly focused on this forced, attraction between, Teal, who's the journalist, and Brady, who's Brad, who's the doctor that helped deliver the baby and everything. The reason I say this love story feels forced is because, look, in the hostage situation, it almost felt like just your regular attraction thing going on, because the doctor's hot, as they describe him, right? Even Sabra was attracted to the doctor, right? But they hated each other. Well, they didn't really hate each other, but they couldn't stand each other's guts solely based on their career choices. Because the journalist is part of the reason Doc's entire life was upside down, right? And so there's this forced love story towards the end where, yes, there's 2 people that have just gone through this really intensely traumatic event. And yeah, they're going to, hash it out sexually. But then for Teal to seem like they're giving up their career just because of a momentary, I guess, confrontation where Doc found the recording tape for a story, just seems very off for me, because the entire book had no suggestion whatsoever of this particular character giving up anything about her career. Because look, they make us understand why her career became her life, which is great. But I don't know, I wouldn't have given up my career for that, or such a big impact of the story. Look, even the editor of her newsroom was absolutely shocked. You, of all people, are going to give up this? And look, she made some really good demands about her contract and everything like that, but she gave up one of the most important pieces of the story just because of a confrontation that she had with somebody that she has written a story about before. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's about like conscience. I just think it was a very stupid thing that happened in the book that shouldn't have happened in the first place. But that's just me. So yeah, this is a 3-star, and that's only because of the first few chapters of the book. I was really hoping it was going to end like super amazing, but the ending was kind of disappointing for me, Shem. And also, like, I feel like they dragged out, Sandra dragged out the hostage situation because maybe she just like ran out of thoughts. I don't know, because I was just thinking, like, what could possibly be the reason for such a bad ending to such a good story? Yeah, anyway, totally 3-star. But it's worth a read. Maybe you'll have different views from me, but 3-star for sure.